You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. Face reality as it is, not as it was, or as you wish it to be. And regulation entails organizational effectiveness, a chain of command, and a structure for logistical support. We destroy in assumptions, but we do not build in possibilities. The scholar does not consider gold and jade to be precious treasures, but loyalty and good faith. Convictions are more dangerous foes of truth than lies. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The older I grow, the more I distrust the familiar doctrine that age brings wisdom. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. Follow your heart. Listen to your inner voice. Stop caring about what others think. You know, the minute you stop thinking about it, it'll happen. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. Life is 10% what you make it, and 90% how you take it. Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. If my life is going to mean anything, I have to live it myself. He was a lonely ghost, uttering a truth that nobody would ever hear. A clown on a throne is still a clown. A king in rags is still a king. Those who realize their folly are not true fools. Leadership is all about making things to move forward, not backward. Strange how the best moments of our lives we scarcely notice except in looking back. To a mind that is still the whole universe surrenders. He who knows he is a fool is not the biggest fool. He who knows he is confused is not in the worst confusion. If we will be quiet and ready enough, we shall find compensation in every disappointment. If tomorrow were never to come, it would not be worth living today. In the end, it will all work out okay. The end isn't final if we're not okay with it. We have to speak the truth always, at any cost, and no matter what. Be like seeds. Do not see dirt thrown at you as your enemy, but as ground to grow. By what men think, we create the world around us, daily new. Our moral economy went bankrupt long before our financial one. The line between disorder and order lies in logistics. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Desire is half of life. Indifference is half of death. He who requires much from himself and little from others will keep himself from being the object of resentment. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. Your time is way too valuable to be wasting on people that can't accept who you are. Men do less than they ought unless they do all they can. The storm is what they threw at me. The hurricane is what I became. First learn to become invincible, then wait for your enemy's moment of vulnerability. When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness. Do not take life too seriously. You will never get out of it alive. I'm always doing that which I cannot do in order that I may learn how to do it. The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence. Don't leave it all unsaid, somewhere in the wasteland of your head. To become a lifelong reader, one has to do a lot of varied and interesting reading. Many things are not as they seem. The worst things in life never are. If those at your top are weak, your bottom will be rotten. The worst part of being okay is that okay is far from happy. Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Slowly we became silent, and silence itself, if an enemy to friendship. It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always. Everything, no matter how beautiful, is only with us for a while. Great knowledge sees all in one. Small knowledge breaks down into the many. Consideration for others is the basis of a good life, a good society. I can't go into detail, but it's why I went to the special meeting at the Pentagon. You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. 10 seconds, that's all it takes for life to throw you a curveball. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. We say later, later, until later becomes too late, and all we can think of is if only. Success is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden. Remember to be kind with your words, especially to yourself. Do what is right, not what is easy, nor what is popular. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Doubting your judgments is the beginning of enlightenment. Apparent confusion is a product of good order, apparent cowardice of courage, apparent weakness of strength. Celebrate true friends. They are a part of you that always sparkles. One defends when his strength is inadequate. He attacks when it is abundant. Do more listening than talking. Talk more about them than about you. Hats have power. Hats can change you into someone else. A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. An education is not so much about making a living as making a person. The petty thief is imprisoned, but the big thief becomes a feudal lord. Make the most of yourself, for that is all there is of you. I can chase you, and I can catch you, but there is nothing I can do to make you mine. True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good. Accepting oneself does not preclude an attempt to become better. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. It's not what you are in life, but what you make of it. It is better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep. When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you. It is better to be divided by truth than united in error. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. At some point, we all look up and realize that we are lost in a maze. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Just be real. It saves everyone's time. Manifest plainness. Embrace simplicity. choose selfishness, have few desires. I've never had anyone's approval, so I've learned to live without it. When truth is replaced by silence, the silence is a lie. You can be anything you want in the world. Just don't become a prisoner of hatred. When you treat your failures as lessons, you can never fail. If you concentrate on small, manageable steps, you can cross unimaginable distances. Distance sometimes lets you know who is worth keeping and who is worth letting go. Stay close to anything that makes you glad you are alive. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. In order to be yourself, you must first know who you are. I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens.